What's up, internet? So, you ever been sitting at home and scrolling around on your favorite streaming service and just pick a movie based off of a poster or a group of actors, and you're really excited and you're hopeful and you're just really wishing that this time around you're gonna pick that perfect movie that is just going to be incredible. It's a hidden gem. You're gonna be able to tell all your friends about it. It turns out to be a steaming pile of dog crap. Well, today I'm going to talk about The Beach House. The Beach House is directed by Jeffrey Brown, who every time I hear that name, I can just think of the Check It Out sketch with Wayne Schuyler, where Wayne is dying and Jan is showing Steve Brule all the furniture. It's a Jeffrey Brown. It's a Jeffrey Brown. This is a Jeffrey Brown.
Sort of my favorite room in the house. Sort of a memorial to Wayne. This is all custom designed. This is a Jeffrey Brown coffee table.
Those are some nice pillows.
Well, those pillows are Jeffrey Brown's, and he designed them.
Sounds expensive.
And thank you to Jeffrey Brown for designing the whole room. He really put the whole thing together.
What if I give you a little tickle?
Yeah, this is a pretty simple story. It's a story of a boyfriend and girlfriend who travel to a beach community to get away from their normal day-to-day lives. And they get there and the beach community's empty because it's off-peak season. Get there, they have sex, and then once the girl comes downstairs, she sees a woman sitting at her table. And they don't understand what's going on. It's the boyfriend's dad's vacation home. And they come to find out that it's a couple who's friends with the boyfriend's father, and they're there on vacation and he gave them the property. Apparently the boyfriend's dad was unaware that they were coming for the weekend, and they offer the two to the ability to stay, the boyfriend and girlfriend. And the story is about the relationship between these people and their interaction, and this weird supernatural horror element that introduces itself at the midway point of the film. So yeah, this premise on the surface is pretty interesting. I was looking forward to seeing it. I didn't read too much about it because I didn't want to know what was going to happen. It just fell really flat for me, and that was disappointing because I feel like there's a lot of good ideas going on here, but they're just not executed very well. So yeah, I am gonna get into spoilers a little bit because there is no way to talk about this movie without me getting into spoilers. If you want to see this movie, just go on Shudder and watch it. If you don't give a shit, then just keep watching, because the spoilers, it's not really gonna ruin the experience for you. Yeah, my first big issue with this is the dialogue. It feels really sloppy and it feels over-explanatory. So the lead girl, who the actress is very great. She gives a really good performance, and actually everyone in the film gives a good performance. I just don't think the material is very strong. She's a biology major, and she has this really lengthy conversation at one point about the molecular biology and how she's learning about this very specific thing, and they drop like alien life form, and they start bringing all these little things into the conversation that are like, okay, I get it. This is where the movie's gonna go. Because early on in the film, you're given these shots of people washing their hands and water, and there's constantly cuts to just shots of water. And it's like, we get it. You're using these context clues to explain the film to us, but then you use over-explanatory dialogue to just nail it over the head as to like, this is what's happening. This is what you should think. And that's what I don't like. If you're gonna be an independent filmmaker, or just a filmmaker in general, not even an independent filmmaker, you're gonna make a movie and you say, I'm gonna use context clues with the camera to build this idea for the audience. And then you're like, nah, I think my audience is stupid. I need to use this really ridiculously over-the-top dialogue to also convey the point that they're gonna get with the visual context clues anyway. It was one of the issues I had with the film Joker, which I'm not gonna get too much into that, but I don't like when directors treat audiences like they're idiots. If you want to use exposition to explain your point and to get it across, then just use exposition. If you feel the need to do it through context clues and through the cinematography, then do it that way. But when you're really just doing both so abundantly over the top, it gets grating after a while, and it really started to frustrate me about the midway point through the film. So about halfway through, this turns into like a Lovecraftian body horror film, because the molecules in the water have apparently been infected by aliens, and they're turning people into these creatures, which on the surface is something I should love. I love body horror movies. I love really intense, gross films about body horror because I'm a freak. But yeah, this movie, it just didn't do it for me because I didn't care about any of the characters. I didn't care about any of their struggles. The dialogue was written so poorly that just by the time we get to that really impactful moment of our characters are in peril, they're starting to go through something intense, and you just don't really care because the attachment to the characters never really build up aside from this one night that they all get together and drink and take edibles, and there's really not much more to it. And that's what's disappointing. Is I love body horror films, especially ones combining with sci-fi elements. It's a really cool idea, but they spend such a little amount of time exploring that part of the film and so much time with this meaningless dialogue. And the cinematography is pretty nice. There's some shots that are really great, that look good. There's a scene where the older gentleman who's staying at the house comes outside when the young actress is on the beach, and he's like, I'm gonna go for a swim, and he does this really long walk into the beach, and it's this very long shot, and it looks really nice, and the composition's all really great, and it looks good, but dialogue just feels over-explanatory, and it becomes so grating that after a while I was just like, I don't care anymore. By the third act, when everything blows up and things start going crazy, I kept glancing over at my phone because I was just ready for it to be over. Positives about the movie: the cinematography looks nice, the performances are pretty good, and aesthetically it's pleasing, but as far as like the payoff of this being a horror sci-fi movie, it just really didn't work for me. And there's a lot of movies that do this way better. Watch Julia Ducournau's Raw or Titan, or watch any David Cronenberg movie, or watch Brandon Cronenberg's Possessor. If you want to watch some good body horror movies, there's a lot more out there that is readily available for you, that have better character arcs, more engaging stories, and this one just didn't work for me. So what are your thoughts on The Beach House? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Was it your favorite movie that you've ever seen? If it was, great. Maybe I missed something and I'm completely wrong about my opinion. I'm sure the Jeffrey Brown is a really nice guy. Sorry to shit on your movie, Jeffrey. I just didn't like this one. If you make something else, I'll look out for it and I'll watch it, because you got some great cinematography and you got some really good performances out of your actors, just not a very good script, and that can be worked on. This one wasn't for me. Shudder does have a lot of great movies though, and I like to just randomly pull the trigger sometimes and watch something, and this was one I just clicked on a whim and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch this movie, and I just didn't enjoy it. As always, if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, that helps me out a great deal, lets me know the type of content that you're looking for as a viewer. I've got a lot of new content coming out in the future. I just did a hot take video, which was like one of the most fun things I've ever filmed. I was just goofing off and being a complete moron, and I'm planning on doing it again very soon. So if you want to leave a comment with a hot take down below, by all means, I love reading through those. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.